We're gonna go through scenarios. I'm just gonna go down the line. So we're gonna start with Sonimar, then we'll go to Alemi, then we'll go to Blake, and then Dwayne, and we'll end with Andrew. And then if we have time, we'll go through it again. Let me respond to Jeff. Cool. Okay. So, PDI. What? PDI. So let's just dive right in. I'll be the rep, and we're just gonna do a live conversation. So it's not like saying, "Oh, I would tell them this." Like, no, you just tell them. And then we'll do some positive feedback for each person, and then I'll give my thoughts. Okay. So let's do the first scenario. I'm trying to find it on here.
This is just the one of the PDI scenario?
Yeah, but try not to read. Like, just do it based off what you would say, you know? Like, I just want to know. I just want to see where you're at. All right, so let's just say I just completed my first demo, and I sold. I didn't sell anything. So I just called you. Hey, Sonimar, I just finished my appointment.
Hey, Christina, how did it go?
Went great. Yeah, went really well.
Awesome. How did the customer feel?
How did what?
How did the client feel?
The customer was great. Yeah, no, we had a lot of fun. They didn't buy anything though, but you know, it was a good appointment.
Okay, it's fun. Don't worry. It's part of the learning process. So now that you did your first demo, how do you feel about the manual, about the station itself?
I mean, it was good. It was a little bit rocky, you know, but I got through it, and they really liked the product, so that was cool.
Yeah, that's good. It's gonna take a little while to get used to it. Don't worry.
Mm-hmm.
So can I get stuck there? I'm sorry.
It's okay. You can take your time.
So, and you should finish the first one right now. Sorry.
Excuse me?
You should finish your first demo, right? And then we'll start it.
Yeah. First demo ever. You're doing good so far.
Yeah, it's just that I'm stuck. I don't know to ask about their future
Like the next appointment?
Or
yeah, of course. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. So when's the next appointment?
In about an hour.
Okay. Well,
All right. Who can take it from there? How do you talk about the next appointment?
Okay, so
Blake, you want to go?
Yeah, sure. So Karina, tell me about the next person you have. Who's the next person you're gonna see?
See my aunt.
Oh, there we go, Auntie. What set do you think she's gonna get?
What set? I mean, I don't know. I don't know if she'd get a set, but I think at least a couple pieces.
Okay. Well, I mean, does your aunt does she like to cook? You know?
Yeah, she cooks.
Well, how many times a week?
I don't know. A few times a week at least.
A few times and a few pieces, you think? I think your aunt deserves a set at least, right?
I guess, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, hey, worst case scenario, you know, she can always get what she wants, but I mean, hey, your aunt's the best. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure she deserves the best, which is obviously, you know, at least a set, you know, because again, you know, sets are good for many reasons. But I mean, that's as far as like the next person. Then you can say something like, Oh yeah. How many other people do you have for the rest of the day?
I have 2 more.
Okay, and then I should have asked what your goal was, but okay. So and then what about the next day?
Tomorrow,
Mm-hmm.
I have 3.
Okay, solid. And what was your goal?
My goal was 4.
Okay, got you. Well, I mean, right now, I mean, you have about an hour in between. You mind if I give you a tip that'll probably make your life a lot easier?
Sure.
Here, so do this. I mean, I know, remember what I said, the best way to keep having a nice fast start is to have demos booked ahead. Why don't you go ahead and make 5 quick phone calls, see if you can book that last one up, give me a call back, let me know how that goes. Cool?
Perfect.
All right, air high five. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All right, so positive feedback for Sony.
She does a really good job at listening. One thing I found my challenge is that I think really fast, and I'll find myself almost cutting them off because I already know exactly what to say, and it's kind of like going back to handling objections. You have to listen before you say something.
You do.
She does a really good job at listening.
Good. Any other positive feedback?
She was able to try to get a feel for how the rep was feeling. It was like, how are you feeling about the manuals? Are you getting a little more comfortable, a lot more confident? And also, she also mentioned it was a learning experience, noting that not every rep might feel great about a no sale on their first appointment. So she mentioned that it's a learning experience and that it will get better pretty much.
Okay, cool. So yeah, so I need some feedback from myself. I would say you're definitely more on the positive end, and that's the thing, you don't want to shake their confidence. So our energy is just as important as their energy because our energy kind of will influence their energy. So you're pretty upbeat. You didn't really, care that it was a no sale or not. There's a few phrases though that it's kind of like in the arsenal of phrases that we have, kind of like "don't steal my money" or M3PG, etc. So I'm like, hey, well, you got your first demo out of the way. Your first demo is the hardest one. You just did it. Congrats, you lived. That's usually the thing that makes them feel better. And then for no sales, what I like to do is I'm like, all right, well, they didn't buy. I mean, are they not married? Or I'd be like, are they married? Be like, okay, well, do they have a job? And if they're not married and if they don't work or if they're not a Mac customer, basically, it's like, oh, well, that's why they didn't buy. You didn't see a Mac. So it's kind of like, we don't want to make it about the rep. We want to make it that Cutco's great, people buy it. You just didn't set yourself up the right way. So let's say they are a Mac and they didn't buy. It's kind of like, all right, well, what do you think happened? All right, well, maybe they didn't call in properly. And by the way, maybe they did everything perfectly. And that's when it's like, hey, it's the first demo, hardest one. No big deal. But try to find something that's kind of like, oh, dude, that's why. Next time just do this. Or next time you want to see these kind of people. So, nice job. Feedback on Blake's, since he took over that. Anyone want to give positive feedback on that?
Told him to do more demos, which is one of the points of PDI, is to make sure that the reps are always have demos ahead of them.
Yep, 5 calls. Call me after. Good. Anyone else? I don't say anything at all. So what I liked about what Blake did, he got him excited about the next person. Hey, what do? Do they like to cook? He challenged me, because I was like, oh, she probably won't get a set. And it's kind of like, well, you don't really want to accept that. So cool. So Alemi, you're up next. Let's see, what do I want to have you do? So let's say I just hit my first promotion and not on my first demo. I sold a homemaker on my first sale. How do you handle that?
Hello?
Yes. Hey, this is Karina. I'm just checking in for my appointment.
Oh, how did your appointment go?
Yeah, went great. Yeah, I did awesome. They bought a homemaker.
Oh, they bought a homemaker. Okay,
Yeah.
nice.
I'm so good.
And how many?
Sorry. Nothing. Keep going.
Okay, perfect. That's good. And how do you feel? How do you feel with the manual?
See-
Product?
The manual, yeah, no, I felt really good with it. It was pretty easy.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
And what's your next demo?
My next demo is like now. Like I'm running a little bit late to it actually. So I'm gonna go see my parents. Yeah.
Okay, well, congratulations. You went to your first promotion, right? So congratulations. But now you have to hit your assignments. You
Good.
need to complete 5 demos, right? You have 5, right?
Yeah, no, I have like 8 in front of me right now. But I've only done one.
Perfect. That's really good. So,
You want me to, did anyone want to help him out? Who wants to chime in?
I don't want to do it. I want to do someone else. I'll do it, but it doesn't matter.
Andrew, Sonny Mar.
yeah, okay. Do you want to start?
Sure. Yeah. Hey, it's Karina. I'm checking in for my appointment.
This isn't on the document, right? This is just.
No, it's just fish.
There's this fishbowl. Yeah, I mean, I read the document. That was like one of the scenarios, but like it's not.
Yeah.
We don't have to read it. It's fine.
Okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. So I'm just clocking in for my demo. Just finished up.
Nice. How'd it go?
Yeah. Well. Went pretty great. I sold a homemaker. So.
Okay, cool. Awesome. First day out of the way. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel great. It was pretty easy. I just showed up, cut up food like you said, and they bought from me.
Yeah, right. You got a little more confidence. You got your first one out of the way.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. Yeah. So how many recommendations did you get?
I only got like 2.
2? Okay, cool. Awesome. That's a start. We want to shoot it for 10 once you got your first deal out of the way. So we'll get you there in no time. Great job by the way. This sale. When's your next appointment?
It's coming up, like in 20 minutes. I'm driving there now.
Okay, perfect. Who's that one with?
That one's with my mom.
Oh, nice. What are you gonna sell her?
I think she'll buy what this one bought. Probably another homemaker, not a galley.
Okay. Cool. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Yeah, and if you need help closing any of those bigger sets, if you're looking for anything else, you can definitely give us a call. But anyways, I'll go ahead and get ready for that. Get pumped up. You got your first sale out of the way, and we'll get you selling some of those bigger sets. Okay.
All right, cool. Thank you.
All right, perfect. Talk to you soon, Karina.
All right, awesome. So yeah, both were pretty decent. You definitely don't want to sound impressed whenever they sell a homemaker. So Andrew, I think you did a better job of not blowing it up. So I mean, what I like what you did, you focused on the demo, right? How'd you feel with the manual and all that stuff? What I like to do is I'm like, all right, well, you knocked out your first promotion. Let's see if we can get your second promotion knocked out by tomorrow night. If not tonight. And then it's kind of like promoting the evidence, like, hey, I told you, it works, right? So if someone else hit their first promotion, that's kind of where you let them know as well, like, hey, great, I was speaking to Naya, and she actually just sold a homemaker too. Let's see if we can get your first complete set out of the way. So Andrew kind of hinted at that at the end, like, hey, we'll help you knock out some of those bigger sales. But it's kind of like with the first appointment, the whole like, oh, the first appointment's the hardest one. I'm like, hey, your first homemaker's the hardest one. You sold your first one. Let's see if we can get your next signature complete set out of the way too. So I just like kind of promoting that vision. And then depending on who you're talking to, I kind of let them know, like, hey, isn't it pretty cool? You just made $110. Whatever the CPO would be. You just made $100. And how long did that take you? An hour? Right? And then imagine when you're at what? Dirty 30. Imagine when you're at Dirty 30. You'd make $300. Yeah, man, let's get you there as soon as possible. First promotion knocked out, let's go to the second one, like right away. Cool. Talk to me about your next one. And then, building that vision of calling in. If you have the time, you could really dive in. Like, hey, forget about the sale. How did the demo go? What did you do? What did you feel confident with? Because that's the thing too. If you have really, really sharp kids, a lot of them might feel that people are buying from them just because they have money.
Money, yeah.
And so you want to give them confidence that they did that, not the not because it's their godfather who's super rich and richer than God, and bought a homemaker because a grand to him is nothing. So I
how
do.
do you go about? Go ahead.
What's up?
Yeah, I was gonna ask, so how do you exactly go about doing that? Whether they did the sale out there?
Yeah, so I'm like, so how did you feel? How did it go? And they're like, oh, what? Well, they'll start talking about the sale, and I'm like, no. How did the demo go? What did you do? And they're like, oh, I just read off of it. I'm like, all right, cool. What did you feel really confident with? And then they'd be like, oh, I did this. I'm like, cool. How did they react to the product? And then they're like, oh, and they love the scissors. They love this. I'm like, cool. What did they say here? What did they say there? It's kind of like diving in, and so it's more so stressing things that they did and that the product is awesome. Not I just smiled and they bought from me. Which is kind of what we say too. Like you just show up and they buy, but there's more to it than that. So it's like, hey, next time when you sell Homemaker, I'm gonna try to help you sell something bigger. So and that's when you can dive in terms of like things they can do better. Brian Hurlman loves doing like, is there anything that you were confused on? Is there anything you didn't know how to handle? Did they ask any questions? So that takes more time. If you have like a bunch of people calling, you don't really have time for those conversations. But that's usually the route that I go. And then what else was I gonna say that Andrew said and you reminded me and now I forgot.
Was it assignments? Was it this?
I forgot. It's fine. Probably not that big of a deal. But yeah, biggest thing is don't be impressed, but make them feel good about the accomplishments, but have them excited to do more later. So nice, cool. So let's go to who's next, Blake. So let's say I just did 2 appointments and I want to quit.
Of course you give it. Damn it. Okay. All right. So hey, how's it going, Karina?
It's going pretty well. Well, I mean, not really. I kind of have to talk to you.
All right. What's up? Talk to me. What's up? What's going on?
Yeah, so I've been thinking about it, and I just don't think this is for me. I have a lot of things going on right now.
Okay. So
and I really appreciate it, and maybe in like a month or two. Maybe in like a month or two, I can pick things up again. But I think I'm gonna turn in my kit.
Okay, and then just so I know, I did that so well. I'm like crap. Okay, no, serious face though. All right, so just so I know, I mean, how did the two demos go? I didn't hear from you. Yeah,
nice.
Take that.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't afford it, and this stuff is just really expensive. And I was going to call in. I know you told me to. But they said that they weren't going to buy anything, so I didn't think I had to call if it was going to be a no sale.
Karina, no. That's exactly what you're supposed to do. You remember in training to where even if they said they weren't going to buy or whatever the case is, remember you have to call in. Because remember the insurance thing I told you where if you don't clock in, I can't pay you?
Yeah. I mean, it's okay. You don't have to pay me for them. I understand. I just, I just don't think, that I'm cut out for this.
Okay. And then Karina, really quick, you open for a quick tip or a quick suggestion? Because how many more demos do you have for today? Swear to God, if you say 0, I'm gonna hurt you.
Wait, can I catch you on something?
Sure.
You asked me a question and you didn't wait for me to answer.
Damn it, you're right.
Just saying.
I admitted it though beforehand.
I know.
God. In my head, I heard.
Yeah.
I heard yes in my head, so I went.
Yeah, I'm open for feedback.
Okay, so how many demos do you have left today?
I don't have any more today, but I have like 2 tomorrow.
Okay, so my quick tip for you is, you know what? Because you're gonna come in tomorrow anyway, So why don't you just go ahead and either just go ahead and make 5 quick phone calls and just let me know what happens. Because the thing is, so far, you haven't really been following the regimen. Because, you know, like if it's like a workout plan, you kind of have to do what the instructor says and now you'll get the results.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's kind of like we've already tried it your way. And it's kind of like, it kind of seems like you're not getting the results you want. Because I know that, you're top of your class. You're used to everything kind of going the way it's expected. But so far, you haven't really been following the program.
Mm-hmm.
So how about we just try it? You already tried your way, right? Let's just, book those 5, get those 5 phone calls and book that 1 demo, and just give me a call back. And afterwards, we'll just do 1 demo, see how it goes. Try calling in this time. We'll see where it goes from there. Cool.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So hey, I know I've been there, done that. Trust me, I had 7 no sales my first weekend, Karina. So whatever you're feeling, multiply it by times 3, and then add another one just for pain. Okay, so I've been there, I've done that. I know exactly how you feel. Trust me. Just go ahead and make those 5 phone calls. Give me a call back, and we'll just go from there. Cool?
All right.
Okay. Who's awesome?
I'm awesome.
Who's top of your class?
Me.
Who's?
All right.
Oh yeah. Go for it.
Cool. So good. I'm missing a couple things, but feedback for Blake. You're just sucking it up today. Dwayne, any feedback?
Yeah, you didn't let the rep quit on herself. Especially because you kind of addressed the fact that she didn't do something right, and that could have been the reason why. And there's always, like we stress in training, that there's always like a plan. If you stick to it, then things should go the way it is. And since she deviated from that plan, it's kind of just like, well, that's probably the reason why it didn't go right, and that's probably the reason why you're feeling bad right now. So if you go ahead and follow the plan, then everything should go fine. So let's go ahead and make sure that we're doing that, and then we can definitely go ahead and maybe you'll get different results this time. So you mentioned that the rep and probably made her feel a little bit better about.
Okay. Any other feedback? So solid on catching me on not calling in. It's going to be the easiest thing to reel in your people. But what I will say, a lot of managers, we love to hear ourselves talk, and we know exactly what we want to say. If someone's in a very vulnerable state, think about it. They just went through 3 days of training. They've probably been getting crap from their parents the whole time. They're probably like believing you and doing everything that you're saying to do, and they're excited. They do their first appointment. They're super excited. They have high expectations. And then the most awful thing in the world happens, which is not awful to us, but to someone that is not used to rejection. They get rejected. They probably got snide comments from their family. Like, it's probably more than just a no sale. It's probably like a bunch of stuff on top of it. It's kind of like that's the story they're choosing to tell us, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's happening. So on our end, we need to kind of just dive in and find out the real reason.
Okay.
So the more talking you can have them do, the better. I recommend watching John Oberg if you haven't watched him already, because he's really good at this. So, for example, here, why don't you be the rep? Okay. So
Same scenario.
Same scenario.
Hey, Karina, I'm just clocking in from my 7.
Oh, hey. What's going on? Talk to me.
Well, so far I've been, doing everything. I just had this demo with this person, and I don't know. I don't really think I'm really cut out for this. I don't know.
Oh man, sorry to hear that. Why do you think that?
Oh, okay. I like that. Well, I don't know. It's just that, they said it was too expensive, and, they didn't want to refer me to anyone, and they were saying that no one buys knives and all this stuff.
It must have felt pretty crummy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I talk about rejection, but it's different hearing it and then you feel it.
Yeah, it's really bad.
Yeah, I remember my first no sale. It was like a punch to the stomach.
Oh,
it like felt it in my soul. Didn't it feel like it was like personal, like something you did?
Yeah, man, it was really bad.
Yeah. Well, do you mind if I give you some feedback real quick?
Yeah, sure.
First of all, do you remember in training the average closing ratio?
60%,
right? So how many appointments have you done again, if you don't mind reminding me?
2.
Okay, great. So would you say, do we have can we accurately figure out your averages right now?
No.
Yeah, not exactly. So for all we know, Blake, these 2 appointments that were no sales, they could just be the first of 4 no sales, and you might have 6 sales after that. Or you might be like Soleil Hernando, who had an 80% closing ratio, and these 2 might be your first 2 no sales. You might have 8. Or you might be like Anthony Blake. He had his first 7 were all no sales, and then his next 3 were sales. Right? The truth is we don't really know. And so from what I gather from you in training, you know, you seem like a pretty sharp kid. You seem like you know what you're doing. I don't think 1 or 2 no sales should really make the difference. So if you don't mind me asking, is there anything else going on? Like what's the real reason you don't want to do this anymore?
Well, yeah, it's just kind of, you know, my dad.
All right, you can stop there.
Yeah.
You see how it's like?
Okay, so you just automatically, as soon as they say they want to quit, like, okay, well, what was it? What was that you said? What was the first thing you said? What is?
I'm like, oh my god, I'm so sorry to hear that. Why?
Why? Yeah. Why is that? That's what.
Yeah,
And
you
then
just
you let
want to
them
find out
talk.
why.
Okay.
Get them talking, figure it out, and then
Ask them the real reason.
they just need to feel heard and understood.
Yeah.
Anybody wants to feel that way. That's from life. Like, right, if you're in a relationship, you just want to feel understood. If you are the reason you hate teachers is because, you know, they feel like they don't understand your struggles and what you're going through, and the reason why they hate you is because you don't understand their struggles. You know, so just they need to feel heard. Let them let it all out, and then provide the solution. And what helps is to provide proof. So let's say, you know, Blake calls in wanting to quit. I'm like, well, Blake, I mean, I understand that you do, but also you haven't been doing the job. Andrew called in. He sold a homemaker. Sony called in. She sold a galley. Even Dwayne called in and he sold a complete. Come on, man. Even Dwayne. I'm just kidding. So like, just talk about how everybody else has been calling in, and sometimes they might not be the only person that hasn't. Like, maybe someone else hasn't, but I just say it. I'm like, dude, you're literally the only one that hasn't called in. Like, the only one. I've heard from every single person. So I understand that you're feeling, you know, you're feeling down in the dumps, but, you know, you got to let me help you. You got to give me a shot. You went through 20 hours of training to quit in the first 2. What? Doesn't make any sense. What? You know?
Kiki.
Right. Does that clear things up, everyone? Anyone want to add to that or feedback?
No, so I guess as soon as they say that, instead of just automatically, you're good.
Good.
Yeah. But yeah, instead of just automatically giving advice, you want to ask why first.
Yeah, because here's the thing: if they don't feel heard, they're not going to listen to your advice.
It's true.
It's the objection cycle.
Yeah.
Right? People need to feel heard, right? That's why it says agree. Because if you don't agree, they're mentally closed off to you. So we're not agreeing, we're just kind of like relating.
Understanding.
Right? There's who knows the difference between that's fine, I'll just say it, the empathy and sympathy, right?
Yeah.
Sympathy is like you feel sorry for someone. Empathy is you can relate to them. So when you're feeling down in the dumps, no one wants to hear, well, at least you can make 5 more calls.
Oh my God.
You don't want to hear that.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't want to make 5 more calls, you know? So anyway, let's move on. I just know you've had that scenario a lot. So
Had the scenario as far as
people wanting to quit.
Oh yeah, true.
All right, Dwayne. Let's do I just went 0 for 3. And this is after fast start.
After fast start.
Post fast start, I hit my first promotion, let's say in my fast start. So I'm not bad, I'm not great, but I'm not bad. And I just had 3 no sales in a row.
Okay, well.
You want to take a minute?
Yeah. someone who actually lasted after their fast start. That hasn't happened since AM summer. Kidding. But
I'm glad we're doing this.
anyways, hey Karina, what's up?
Not much. I just finished my demos for the day.
All right, just finished your demos today. How many demos did you go ahead and do?
I did 3.
You did 3. Okay. This is my first time hearing from you from your 3 demos. Why is that?
Oh, I spoke to Blake.
Oh, I spoke to Blake.
I did.
All right, awesome. Well, anyways, how did your demos go?
Not as well as I hoped.
Oh, really?
You know, none of them bought anything.
Oh, really? Why is that?
They just said it was too much. They couldn't afford it.
Oh, okay. Well, let's go ahead and walk through all your appointments that you did. What about the first one? Who is that?
That was my neighbor.
Your neighbor? Oh, what's your neighbor's name?
Susie.
Susie. Okay. Was Susie's husband there?
No.
Okay. What about the next person after that?
That was my best friend's mom.
Your best friend's mom. Okay. Was your best friend's mom's dad there?
Yes.
Okay, he was there too. All right. And what did they say?
They said that it was too much, that they couldn't afford
They
it.
couldn't afford it. Okay.
Yeah.
They both working?
Yes.
Okay. And let's go with the third one. Who are they?
That was a friend of my mom's.
Okay. Was her husband there?
Yes.
All right. And what did they say?
Same thing.
Same thing.
All my customers say
they-
it's way too expensive. They
So
couldn't
they're
afford
all
it.
married.
Yeah.
They all working. They're all Mac customers.
Yeah.
Okay, and they also was a little bit more too expensive.
Yeah.
Right now, why exactly do you think that they said it was too expensive?
Why did I think they say it?
Yeah.
Because they just thought 261 was out of their budget,
Oh,
and they just couldn't do that.
Okay. Well, here's well, do you mind if I provide some feedback?
Sure.
Okay. Well, here's what I think is probably happening. Are you doing the demo the exact same way as you did it in your fast start?
Yeah, following the manual, just like you said. I looked down, I cut food, say everything.
All right. Well, what about, are you showing the product with enthusiasm? Or are you happy to show off the product? Is you kind of just
Yeah, no, Cutco's great. I cut food. You know, I did everything.
all right? So they're all Mac customers. They all you follow the manual exactly to the point.
Yeah, I probably missed a line or two, but you know, I read it.
Okay. So
Do you want someone to help you out?
what's the problem?
Okay.
Hold on. Andrew, Sunnymar, or Alemi.
Oh my
If any of you want to take over.
Trying to figure out what the problem is.
God.
Come on.
You just said it. You forgot a few lines.
No, a couple
Double
lines.
line.
It's not that big of a deal.
I mean,
On the call, conference call. You guys alive? You guys there?
thumbs up.
Well, I was gonna suggest eventually to we should get you field trained. And
Maybe, yeah. Okay.
But I mean, I was just trying to figure out a problem.
Well, Blake, do you know the problem?
You got to say expensive more.
Okay.
That's one thing. So you can so
How about this? As a representative, what's my issue right now? I'm seeing perfectly fine people. They're Mac customers, and they say 261 is too much, and it's a no sale after that.
Is it their belief? Their belief. In
Yeah.
the product
It's
itself?
the reps believe.
The reps belief.
Yeah, because they think that it's too expensive,
Mhm.
and therefore they project it
Yeah.
to the customers.
Yeah. So they're not confident enough in the price to be like.
Yeah.
And then when they ask for the order, it's probably week
would
2.
be.
So then I can say the words, but it's not what you say.
That's how.
It's how you say it. And what's happening too for those reps, they get sold. They get sold on the customer. That was Adriana for sure.
They get what?
Really?
Sold, like it's kind of like we sell the customer on getting
So
Cutco,
pretty
or
much
they
just
sell
handling
us on
objections.
why they don't get Cutco. You know, so like I'm getting a perfectly.
Okay, got it.
I'm getting a great customer and telling me no, it's like that rep is believing it.
Mhm.
And you'll get plenty of people that do that, right? So on the phone, the way you want to handle this, Brian Hurlman said this, I think at Olean. after they say the whole, all right, well, are they married? And you did a good job of analyzing the customer. That's what I would have done too. Like, what did they say? All right, cool. Now, and then they say, oh, they said they can't afford it. Then be like, all right, now, do you really believe they can't afford it?
Mm-hmm.
And then see what they say. And if they say, nah, I think they can afford it for sure. And be like, all right,
Oh, sure.
so what do you really think? What do you really think the problem is? And then you let the rep figure out what's happening. And here's the thing, you don't want to develop needy reps. You want reps that can analyze their own demo on their own. So have them figure out what the problem is. If they tell you, well, yeah, they told me they can't afford it, so I believe that.
Then it's pretty much handling their mindset on.
Yeah, then you kind of have to do like a little mini value talk on the spot.
Okay. So
it's like,
handling
dude,
objections, pretty much teach them how to handle objections and believe more in the product.
Not necessarily handling objections, it's just handling their belief
mindset,
system.
okay.
Yeah, you know, and then maybe you dive into handling objections. But first, you need to figure out what is the belief system.
Okay.
You know, so
I mean, the thing is, when I was doing it, they were around past their fast start. So I mean, and they sold on their fast start. I'm thinking that they probably have some.
I mean,
maybe it's going away.
Cutco sells Cutco, man.
Yeah.
I've met some pretty stupid kids, and they sell like $1,000 on their first appointment. I'm like, damn, nice job, Cutco. You know, like, it's true. You know, hopefully it doesn't offend anyone, but sometimes kids don't know what they're doing. So just because they sold $1,000 on their fast start doesn't mean anything. That might mean that they're okay. Like, I'm not saying they're going to quit, but it might affect future. That's Hezer, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
That was his belief, which we dove into that wrong. All right. Andrew, let me pick a scenario for you.
All right.
Hold on, I'm looking through it. All right, so let's say it's your top kid in training, first, second day on the job, had like 2 or 3 no sales the day before, like, you know, but he's fine, he's not gonna quit or anything, or she. And I just had my my first sale. Let's say it was like a couple pieces or whatever. Yeah, second day, had a 10 a.m. demo, sold a couple pieces. The day before, I didn't sell anything though. So it's like 4th demo in, a couple $100.
Okay.
But like 10K fast starter material, you know.
Oh, like she's really sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so Andrew, just checking in for my appointment.
400. Wait, what?
I'm just checking in for my appointment.
Oh, no, I heard someone. All right, never mind. I heard someone. Hey, good. Good, man. How'd it go?
Well, they went with the deal you said. You know, they bought a couple pieces. It was like $200.
Awesome. Okay, cool. So you got your first sale out of the way. How does it feel?
It was good. Finally, I was able to do it.
I know it took you a couple times, but now that we got that first sale, you get a little more confidence. Or?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, cool. Let me ask you, what differently is this one? How do you feel? You know, what do you think? What do you think you did to? What do you think went differently in this one?
Good question though. So yeah, I mean, I felt a little bit more confident with the information for sure, and you know, I liked, you know, that I called in more often instead of just that one time. I called you a bunch of times after that. So
okay, cool.
I think that helped.
Cool. So you feel like you're just getting a little bit more confidence as you continue and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna happen. I mean, the more appointments you do, the more demos you do, especially your first weekend. You know, you're gonna get a lot more sales, and we're getting your first sale coming up pretty soon. Now we got your first sale out of the way, so it's just a matter of time. Plus, you haven't even had advanced training yet, so like you're totally on fire. You're totally on pace. Who's your next appointment with?
With my mom's friend.
With your mom's friend?
Yeah.
Awesome. What are you excited about for that one?
Excited to show her everything. I'm pretty sure she'll buy, at least something.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and here's the thing: you already got your first sale out of the way, so you already built some momentum for the next one. So just keep the confidence up, and that they're getting an awesome product, and you're gonna hook them up. So keep doing what you're doing. Keep up the same habits. Definitely following the office like last time. And we'll help you close those sales again, so you're getting the same results, and we'll keep helping you out. All right.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Perfect. Awesome. Talk to you soon.
Cool. All right, that was great. I'm gonna add one thing to that, and if you have a 10K fast starter, they might be doubting themselves because for whatever reason they didn't get like great results right away. So I would throw in an example of someone that that like didn't necessarily do the best initially,
Right.
but hit 10K. So if you don't know anyone, I can probably give you a few people, but that'd be the only thing I'd add, but that was good. Would everyone notice that he did?
Well, he just said, well, one thing that he did really great at was asking them, what went differently this time?
Yep.
Have the rep, think about it for themselves and like,
Exactly.
This time I called in and this is probably how I got those results.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Also, he said the advanced training.
Mm-hmm.
Which is good. He said he got your first sale knocked out. So pretty standard. So awesome. I guess we have time for a couple more. Let's do this. I have an idea for a couple scenarios. Let's do this. Sony, I'm a new rep. I just finished my fast start, and SC1 is this week. And you're inviting me to it. So I would like you to invite me to SC1, please.
Okay, so does the inviting part?
Yes. So I've heard about it. I know it exists, but I haven't been invited yet.
Okay. So you call him or I call?
I'll call. Hey, Sony, you called me. I'm just calling you back.
Hey, Karina, how's it going?
It's going great. Just, hanging out, eating mofongo.
Cool. Awesome. Well, I'm just calling you to give you a little announcement. Over this week we have what's called SC1. Do you remember what that was about?
Yeah, I heard it was kind of a big deal.
Yeah, it is. You got people from all over, in this case, Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
Come to the conference and talk about a lot of stuff. You're gonna get a lot of good tips, and it's gonna be a very good growth point for you. So I would like to invite you to come to this. It's
really?
Tuesday.
That doesn't matter what day it is.
It's huh?
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would like you to come to this. I've seen that you are doing pretty well, and I would love for see you go even more than what you have in this past week.
Awesome. Thank you.
Cool. So it's gonna be on.
All right, stop.
Tuesday.
That's fine. That's fine. Let's go. Good. That was good. I'm looking for a couple other things, but that was pretty solid for sure. You built value in it, and you were like, hey, do you remember this? And you built it up. There's two to three other things I would add. Anyone want to give it a shot as to what you would add to that? You don't have to role play it, but just
what's in it for them?
You have to add that you need to get motivated to sell.
Excuse me?
For the push that she needs to sell.
Okay, yeah. So I would end the call with that. Like, hey, by the way, just now that you're going, there's a push if you remember. So now that you're actually going, you need to make sure that you perform for that. So for sure. Blake had mentioned.
Yeah, I think that you have to make more support, supportive because they just finished their 10K fast time, so they kind of playing, right?
Yeah.
So I mean, yeah.
Okay. Blake had said just now what's in it for them. So I would say, Sony, you had mentioned how they're gonna, gain a lot of stuff. I'd make it, obviously this is a scenario where you don't know me as a rep, but so I understand that you didn't do it this time. But let's say you have a rep, be like, hey, you know how you're having trouble with recommendations? Guess what talk they're gonna give? How to get more recommendations, or like, something like that. That's very specific towards them. Or how you're excited about advancement, guess who's going to be there? Jeff Gamboa, that sort of thing.
You want awards? Well, guess what they're giving it?
Awards. Yeah, and there's one more thing I would add. It's a little bit more advanced, but I would say, hey, I just, even if it didn't happen, just feel like I just spoke to Mr. Gamboa. I just spoke to Jefe Chino. And I told him about everyone on our team, and we're doing invites right now to the conference. And I told him about you. I told him how, you just hit your first promotion, how you finished your fast start pretty well. You have a very positive attitude. And he told me to go ahead and give the okay to invite you to SC1. So congrats. And, kind of go that route.
Yeah.
So I would utilize Jeff. And like you guys do such a good job of utilizing him because he's not there. So, that's why when he arrives, it's like,
he's there.
Oh my gosh.
God has entered,
On a chariot or something.
But awesome. Great. So let's see. Dwayne.
Yes.
Let's say it's Tuesday and you are going to invite me to the key staff meeting.
Tomorrow.
Yeah, for the first time.
Tuesday night PDI.
Yeah, Tuesday night PDI. I've never been to a key staff meeting before.
Okay.
Go.
How's his rep? Is he just in am I going to invite him into key staff or
No, just to the meeting.
Okay. First fast starter. First weekend.
Fast starter, sure.
Okay. All right. Hello, Karina.
Hey Dwayne, what's up?
Not much. How's it going?
It's going well.
That's great. That's great. Well, anyways, I have something that I want to tell you about. Wednesday night team meeting.
Okay.
I'm sure you've heard of key staff before, right?
Yes.
Do you remember anything about key staff?
I just know they're your favorite people.
Yeah, they actually are my favorite people. They're like my right-hand men and women that I have on my team that I give a lot of my attention to. And I really do feel like as you've been on the team, I really do feel like you can be a potential key staff member. I really enjoy working with you so far, and I really do feel like you're doing a really great job, and I do want you to get some more value out of the team, have you more tied into our office. So what I want to go ahead and do is invite you to our key staff meeting. Do you happen to know when they are?
I don't, because I've never been invited.
We have a key staff meeting right an hour right before you're supposed to show up for phone jam, so 5 o'clock on Wednesday. Is that? Yeah, and I like to go ahead and invite you there. And the reason why is because we're going to talk about a topic that I really feel is beneficial to you and will definitely help you out in your future sales. And in the process of doing this, I want you to make sure that when you're there, you're very engaged, and that you're paying attention, because I really feel like this is going to help you for.
So I'm on key staff?
No, you're not on key staff. It's just invited to the meeting. It's just like a trial period.
Okay.
What we want to do is go ahead and see how you engage with the rest of the key staff that we do have. And then maybe we can go ahead and talk about getting you on our actual key staff. But we want you around the best, because I really do feel like you're going to do really well at the position here. So let's go ahead and invite you I'm just going to go ahead and invite you to the key staff meeting. And then after the key staff meeting, if you keep your performance up as you are right now, I think that we can go ahead and talk about putting you on key staff.
Okay.
And then from there, we can talk about advancement. I know you're interested in advancing in the advancement opportunity we have here. Definitely, there hasn't been anybody in this company who hasn't advanced that hasn't been to key staff first. So that's why I want to go ahead and make sure that you're invited, that you get a feel for what it's like, and then we'll go from there.
Okay. One thing, you're going to hate it. You never know the order. You're like, I'm going to go ahead and invite you. So you just need to say it. You need to say, so is that something I can count you in for? Is that something you can make? This is something you can make happen.
Yeah.
That's
Just
it.
grab the
Literally
order.
Just ask.
Yeah. Yeah, so I'm just gonna write this order.
It's true, because if you don't, and if you're talking, they're just gonna wait for you to finish.
Yeah.
And then so what it makes you sound unconfident as a manager, because then they don't say anything, and then you just keep rambling.
Yeah.
You get me?
That's why you're doing that.
Yeah. Because reps will do that. They're just like,
Yeah,
okay. And then
Okay,
you're like,
yeah.
so anyway, like you need to officially ask them. So that's one small thing. But yeah, anyone want to give feedback though?
He did let them know. He did let them know like what's in it for them, as far as advancement. It's like, hey, advancement's kind of your thing, so that's what this is about.
Yeah. Would you say not one single person? the company.
When the company has been on key staff first.
Not once.
Okay.
Yep.
There we go.
Good. Any other feedback?
Nobody likes saying nice things to people.
Nobody. Well, a couple things. So and some of you might be able to relate to this. You might have a rep that, let's say, did 3K their first weekend. But have any of you had the situation where you don't know if they're interested in advancement or not?
Yeah, a lot of times.
They've never voiced it.
Yeah.
They're excited and they sell a lot, but you don't know. So
Yeah.
I think Tuesday PDI is a big how's it going?
Yeah.
How do you feel about everything? It's a solid 10-minute conversation. And it's like, hey, so what are you excited about, doing in the company? What are you excited about gaining? They usually say specifically, I want to make money for blank or experience. Like it's never one of the two. Yeah. And then when they say experience, I'm like, all right, specifically what? Like, what are you looking to learn? What are you looking to gain? Is advancement something that interests you? And I kind of like slip it in there to see if they jump on it, And if they do, great. If not, what I'll do is I'll talk about key staff in terms of what it is. So I know we've spoken about it in training, but that's on day 3 when they went through 2 days of training. They're sitting on these chairs that are super uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like they're not retaining any information. Yeah. So I'll be like, you need to be at $3,000. You need to be positive. What we do in key staff, we do blank, 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 blank. You know how you mentioned you want to learn public speaking skills. Well, if accepted into key staff, you'd be front runner for AGL, and in AGL we do this, da, da, da. Does that sound like something that you'd be excited about doing, et cetera, et cetera? If selling is more their thing, be like, hey, in key staff we teach you things like how to sell ultimates, how to set up Cutco owners, how to, you just build up all the sales things, and be like, you're still pretty new. I definitely can't promote you to key staff just yet, but I'd like to invite you to the meeting. You can sit in. See how it goes, see how it runs. For all of you, you're gonna run your first key staff meeting ever. So promote that. Be like, hey, we're running the first key staff meeting ever in the history of the Central Miami office.
2016.
And it's like the first week. Obviously, it's the first meeting ever. And so be like, hey, get invited to the first meeting ever, and just everyone wants to go to the first thing ever.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to be a part of that. So you can build that up and be like, obviously you're not going to get promoted just yet, but I'll invite you to the meeting. So, and then you kind of go from there. And then I would end with like, by the way, be like, this is kind of a big deal, just so you know, like I'm really proud of where you are. I'm really proud for you getting invited. Everyone that's ever at a key staff meeting, I let Mr. Gamboa know. So just know by being there, you are officially, more on his radar than ever. So, and then at the key staff meeting, you elaborate on what that means. Cool. All right, folks. I think I'm going to call it. There's only so many more scenarios we can go through. And if a lot of people aren't going to be interacting anyway, there's only so much I can do too. And it's almost 4:00, which is the ending time for prep. So solid job. Takeaways from prep overall. We'll start with Sony, then we'll go to Alemi, then Blake, then Dwayne, then Andrew. So Sony, any biggest takeaway from prep?
Just how to figure out the numbers and the business plans on the course. I had a very big problem trying to figure that out. And that really helped.
Good. I'm glad. Alemi?
I just need to figure out the business plan. And one of the big takeaways was that just follow the program that the FC has established because they have experience. So
You mean the fast start, the rep targeting?
yeah.
Yeah, I think Jeff knows what he's doing. I think. I'm just kidding. All right, Blake.
Using the business plan as well as the just using the business plan to see exactly where you should be at, and always going back to that to see if you're either ahead or if you're behind to see what you can do, and also just ask, listening to your reps and asking why instead of us in your head thinking why, and then you just say it, and then it looks really bad.
Yep.
Oh, I thought you were going to announce that I was going to talk next. Okay.
Oh, sorry. I guess I should have.
In your inner head, she did.
Yeah. Okay. Well, definitely the Drew Frank stop bys, because every single time I did a stop by my training, it was just awful things that they would say.
Yeah.
And it was just like, I didn't want you to say that at all. There's 20 people.
I hate it when they go, "Don't worry, just you gotta push it through. Just gotta stay the course, and you'll feel better. I promise." You feel like crap.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Yeah.
They say that. They say those
along
things.
lines sometimes.
Has it happened recently in the spring?
No, because I do Drew Frank.
Thankfully.
But they're like, guys, just keep your head up. You'll be fine.
I haven't done anything yet. There's that, and then also the 10 demos plus. Just walking through and emphasizing everything that you need to do correctly to make sure that they get at least 10 demos, because people would say, yeah, I booked 10, they did 5 canceled, and then only 3 would actually be a thing. So and
that still might happen.
Yeah,
but at least they're booking.
But for me, getting most of them to get 10 demos in the first place is not even in existence. I couldn't even get them to some of them get 5. It would be a struggle to try to get them to 5 or even get to even do any. I remember some coming in to advanced training was I didn't do any demos. It was well, how are you going to benefit from advanced training today? So just more emphasis on demo management.
Awesome. Naya just posted her biggest takeaway. Be sure to invest time into PDI because it's important, and to know how to read your stats and know what to do to improve them in all areas. Yes, very, very true. Andrew, you want to wrap us up?
Yeah, I I covered everything, but I think even just the PDI conversation is helpful because I feel like I've been doing PDI for a long time now. I feel like I know most of the stuff, but I haven't been taking it recently. So even some things I'm just catching myself and forgot to do that. So just refreshers, and then also just I really like just writing on the actual document, breaking down everything. I think really helpful with those combos and the things that you really want to do, and kind of the objective of every single combo when you're on PDI. And also, I know you didn't really talk about it, but in the document, just kind of how it reframes your perspective on taking PDI. For instance, last summer, I think it became very, very I kind of want to do routine, you're saying a lot of things, but if you're not thinking actively, thinking about the objective that you're trying to agree on every call, it can seem very all right, cool, what's your all right, cool, all right, awesome, talk to you later,
Yeah.
So that's something that I definitely work on, and I also think it was good just to review from earlier when we were talking about some of the other systems.
Good. Yeah, I love that too, and I think for those of you excited about promoting an assistant, That's like the number one thing as a branch you'd want an assistant to do is being able to take incoming calls, because that's the number one thing that you cannot do when you're by yourself. So I think this is a perfect document where you don't even really need to spend that much time delegating. Just read it through with them. Don't trust that they'll read it on their own. And it's such a great thing for them to have and keep in their arsenal, and they can just literally have it with them and use it. I had something like this when I first started, and I remember Mary Lou, when she was learning how to take calls, she would just literally, like, as soon as someone would call, they would say, oh, I just had my first homemaker, and she'd go, oh, you just had your first homemaker, and she would scroll until she saw that, and then she just read. So I think it's a good way to start learning how to do PDI, because I mean, Andrew's great, but like he didn't say exactly what it said on the document because he doesn't need to, because he's run an office already. So cool. All right. Nice job, everyone. Let's make sure that you're focused on getting furniture. The summer is coming, so that needs, yeah, it's here. You definitely need to make sure to get that done. Your office leases should be put into motion this week, and I'll see you guys at the Kill meeting. That'll be not this Saturday, but next Saturday, right?
I think.
Is it this Saturday?
Yeah, this Saturday.
No. Said it was the 1st.
The 1st?
Yeah, April 1st. That's two.
Oh yeah, that's
two
right.
Saturdays.
Yeah.
Two Fridays
I'm
from now.
thinking
It's a
about
Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, folks. I'll talk to you soon. Nice work, and I will see you at the Kill meeting. Bye bye.
Everyone's so silent today.
So silent. Bye, broadcast.